welcome to this Dotacinema production. We are SUNSfan and syndereN, and this is the XMG Captain's Draft Invitational, Game 1 between Alliance and Fnatic. Before we get into the specifics of the teams and the actual Captain's Draft itself, syndereN, welcome to the cast and, of course, the Dotacinema team.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, that was... I've heard weird introductions before, but I think you take the cake with that. That was really...
I take that
right.
as nothing but a compliment, good sir.
Yeah, that's a good interpretation of that. All right, so yeah, thank you very much, and pleasure to be here, of course, and pleasure to be hosting the first Captain's Draft tournament of Pro Dota 2, so really excited to see this. Of course, there's a couple of things I want to mention about this, and I'll try to do it fast, because drafts go quickly. The teams have 8 strength, 8 agility, and 8 intelligence heroes to choose from, which are chosen by random. Then they have 2 minutes and 30 seconds in total for each team to both ban and pick. They ban 2 heroes first, and then they start drafting 1 pick, 2 pick, 2 pick, 2 pick, 2 pick, 1 pick. So what I'm curious to see is how the teams go into the game and what kind of plan they have, because they need to adjust to the drafting pool really quickly. And I have this theory that supports are going to have incredibly high value in this, because in the pools we're going to get, they're going to be pretty limited as a resource. And looks like Fnatic has banned out the Chen of Ake that they saw in the pool, whereas Alliance banning out both Hani's Outworld Decorator as well as the Nyx Assassin for, yeah, I'm assuming Trixie actually likes playing that on the offlane. What do you think about this?
Well, I think they should ban Timbersaw. If Admiral Bulldog can only play 3 heroes, then that's what they need to do. But they go with the Wind Ranger. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You see 3 intelligence and 1 agility being banned, but of course the agility is a support. I think that is a very hot commodity in these supports. I think you're going to see a lot of these heroes end up playing support that don't normally play support. That's just throwing it out there. We'll see. Clockwork, which is a tier 1 pick and ban, is somehow available after the first 2 bans. And then go to Jakiro. This looks like a normal draft aside from perhaps the Jakiro.
They're drafting really quickly. I think this is incredible because, yeah, they have to. And we've been doing the math. And Captain's drafts can obviously take up to a maximum of 5 minutes, whereas Captain's mode can take up to 15 minutes of drafting time. So the max time they have is 1/3. So the decisions need to be made really quickly. And I guess we can say it's not that often we see a Sand King played by Alliance. So I guess that's, out of this pool, perhaps the first really unusual hero we get to see here from a team. Fnatic loved playing Jakiro in the past. It has been changed recently and seeing some more play. So Fnatic are definitely playing something they're comfortable with, and Alliance, they get Storm Spirit for S4, and he's a playmaker, and this kind of hero is scary without a counter in the pool.
Yep, and he's basically one of the biggest snowball players and heroes in Storm Spirit, so that should be interesting to see what happens with that. Timbersaw's still available. I would be shocked if Fnatic does not take that. That's pretty good offlane to go against Clockwork. They're both great in their own right, but that is the top, I think that's the top tier pick right now out of this pool. Of course, there is still a mid with the Templar Assassin, who I think is pretty good against Storm Spirit overall. And actually Puck, even better. Puck, probably not the best in the laning stage, like really directly against Storm Spirit, but once you get to the mid stage and you have that Blink Dagger, you can initiate with your Waning Rift and pretty much counters Storm Spirit to a high degree until he's able to get a BKB or something. But they're going to pick up Doom so far.
That's a good.
And they're running out of time, syndereN.
They're running out of time already, so this is going really quickly. And they're going to grab the Doom
Ooh.
and Witch Doctor as their second support.
Yes!
So a little bit more of some new stuff here. I guess you're really happy about that.
I am.
Wow. Okay, Alliance, they know what they want. Get the Lina and the Riki. So they have a tri lane, I'm assuming, here with Sand King Lina as the support duo. Really classic and strong duo. And Fnatic, like you said, I think Puck could actually be a really nice pick for them still. If they want to run the Doom in the jungle, for example, or in an offlane position, there we go.
There you go.
They are going to grab the Puck. So the lineups are finished. This is like the fastest draft I've ever cast.
Awesome.
So quick.
Well, you have to keep in mind, like if you run out of time, you literally will random every single pick thereafter. So that's important to keep in mind.
Okay, so actually I'm being told that the game is not showing up in the client. So I think we'll try to do a remake for that. I'm almost 100% positive I did set it up correctly. But we might have to try that, and maybe something
there is
out in one way or the
a
other.
2-minute delay with Dota TV, and I don't even know if it's been 2 minutes yet.
Yeah, it has definitely with the drafts.
Okay.
One of the teams ran out of extra time, and yeah, we've been almost ran out of extra time. So
okay, we can try remaking.
We will try a remake, I think, but we're gonna have to the players are going to have to pick their heroes first so that we can actually pause the game. And then the remake will hopefully resolve those issues. So of course it's really great you guys in the chat out there. Let us know if something is wrong with the game, of course, so that we can fix it. And I'm going to write it to the players right now.
They're going to be so surprised by this. So is there like a specific option within the game when you make it to go to
spectators? Yes, and I did set it up correctly, but there are some weird glitches with hosting games sometimes with what it shows compared to. We're going to remake the game as all pick, of course, and the teams are going to pick the same heroes, so we're not really going to lose anything in that regard. And then the game.
Just remember the heroes. Remember them.
Remember the heroes so they don't cheat us.
Indeed.
Actually,
I'll show the lobby for you guys since we're going to be quitting out.
Here we go. All right, we're going to set that up once again, and spectators. Here we go. Hopefully it's showing correctly. I'm not getting feedback from the game about this actually, but it should be all right now. So Captain's Draft, that's going to be all pick, and yep, I'm pretty sure we're good to go.
Okay. Let's see. It wouldn't be a Dotacinema tournament unless there was a glitch to start it, so just saying. Just throwing it out there.
That's mandatory. We're going to need you to join the game.
I'm trying to find the password. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. I got it.
Production value.
Yes.
Well,
right there. I wanted our motto to be hashtag no production value. What is this? Getting invites to games? Come on now.
Okay, this should be all right. Yeah, there we go. I'll pick. Yes. Okay, if it doesn't work now, something is wrong with the interface. Set everything correctly.
If it doesn't work now, blame Valve, is what you're saying?
Yeah, blame Valve. Okay,
that's fine with me.
Let's roll.
Sounds good to me.
Good. So obviously the draft now is not going to be a part of the game to those watching in the client, but we're still going to get the same heroes, and yeah, the draft runs really, really quickly. So
I was anticipating the draft being fast, but that was like ridiculously fast.
But I'm hoping it's going to show up correctly now, and else, yeah, else, hopefully, there's not a bug with Captain's Draft together with being watched on a ticket or something.
That would be so funny.
That would be terrible.
That would be fitting, though. I don't know.
Yeah, well, in a sense, fitting. We're beta testing this mode, I guess you could say that, in a competitive environment.
Yeah, actually, anyway. If you guys didn't notice, a couple of weeks, probably like 3 weeks ago at this point, Valve implemented a spectator function for Captain's Draft, and it was specifically for this tournament. And I guess technically speaking, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just seeing the chat catch up now, and they're saying it was in the game. Like, whatever.
It was? I knew it. God,
I shouldn't have rehosted. All right. Well, now it's up. So now I know I did it right the first time, and good. That's that trial taken care of.
So who are we blaming here?
We're blaming delay.
Delay. So the 90-second
my lack of trust in my own ability to host a game.
Okay, so you need more self-confidence. Let's boost that confidence, man. Talk about these lineups and how amazing they are and their synergy. Honestly, for the most part, nothing like insanely crazy. And there, you can see the synergy overall from Alliance with the tri-lane. As long as SUNSfan can get his Burrow Strike leveled up to a degree where he can actually initiate, then the Lina-Riki combo is going to be quite disgusting.
I really think Alliance's support combo is very powerful as well, and like you say, the moment SandKing reaches a level 7 here, it's good for him. It's easy for him to initiate, but at the same time, Fnatic has this kind of a special lineup that's hard to initiate into, because the moment you go in, there's a cask that can be used very well defensively. They have the Ice Path to be used defensively. They have Dreamcoil and Silence to be used defensively. And I guess Doom, you could say, is a little bit of a hybrid ability in that regard, both aggressive and defensive potential. So really curious to see how it plays out. And I feel like Fnatic might have an opportunity in trying to exploit Alliance's lane, because Alliance's lane has Riki, who's a melee hero, and a melee support in SandKing. So the question is if they can deal the amount of damage they need to take on a trial lane with Luna. With her Lunar Blessing together with Jakiro and Witch Doctor double ranged heroes, it looks like Fnatic might actually be planning an aggressive tri lane here, and I really like that choice if Alliance puts an easy lane tri lane as well.
Well, if you had the Lunar Blessing in combination with the ridiculous base damage from Witch Doctor, which we never get to see, by the way, which I love. Freaking love Witch Doctor. I can't wait for some awesome moments. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage coming out. But what I'm interested in seeing, and I think the key to this game, for the most part, is Storm Spirit and how well he'll be able to take off, especially going against, not in laning stage at least, but overall going against the Doom, where you kind of have to go. You don't have to, I guess, but BKB is kind of a waste. You have to go Linken's, and even with Linken's, you can just do level death Doom. And the question is, do you go Linken's and BKB without going a Sheep or Orchid or anything like that? You could go Orchid straight off the bat to just initiate a Pawn Doom to prevent that Doom from coming off. I love how his skill is the same name as his freaking hero. I've said Doom like 50,000 times. Good lord, man.
That's how it is. All right, so let's try to have a little bit of a look at it here. Ake is going to get the 0-minute run. He's going to get a double damage and head in towards the mid where he's going to put pressure on Hani here. So this is a very easy start for S4. Storm Spirit is going to get some easy last hits here. Up top, we're going to have an off-lane Ricky together with Sand King. Very, very special laning from Alliance, but they've just figured out Fnatic. They expected Fnatic to run this dual/tri lane down on the bottom, and they just avoided it so that their Ricky could get some safe farm. So I guess it's safe to say right from the start here, Alliance making the better laning decisions and really putting a lot of pressure on Fnatic from the get-go here in the mid lane.
Indeed. And then at bottom lane, we have the Clockwork. Admiral Bullseye, one of the few heroes he does play. So I guess we won't get to test his mettle, if you will, on how many heroes he can actually play, since he'll be playing that against the Luna with, I guess, the roaming Witch Doctor, which level 1 Cask isn't really that great, but I guess if you're going to gank mid with perhaps another support, you could pull off a kill. But I think that's one of the reasons that Crystal Maiden is a far better support than a Witch Doctor, because level 1 skills are far better. Witch Doctor level 1 Cask just doesn't cut the cake.
I think they're going to try for it now. S4 is going to get ganked in the mid. There's the Cask. Follow up. Ice Path not being thrown out. There we go. It's going to miss, actually, but I still think S4 will be the first blood here.
And Notel somehow gets out of this, too. Very nicely done. He's going to have to get out quick, because TP probably going to come pretty quick from Storm Spirit. But if he takes the right path, he should be fine. Unless they want to go again. Ice Path again on Storm Spirit. Are they going again? Cask followed by Illusory. I don't think they can go for this. Can they?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
For this.
No tail getting solo. He will fall, but this will be worth it if they can get another kill on S4, and they're going to do just that. Wow, and both surviving, Jakiro and Quack mid.
From Fnatic out of that.
Meanwhile, top lane, Burrow Strike on Doom. No tail back here again. Only with that level 1 Cask, but he's doing a lot of damage. Doom trying to get away with that Scorched Earth. It is a 3v2 at the moment. Cask only going to bounce once. I've been talking about how terrible that skill is level 1. Although it was enough to get this kill. And I think he needs a second support for sure to be able to ensure a kill. But it was a good defensive support there.
Very nicely played here from Fnatic, I have to say. Such aggression in the mid lane, and it really did work out for them. So even though Hani got pressured in the beginning by Ake there in the mid lane, he's just got 2 kills. Not only did they get the kills, but both of them going to their mid laner, who's now sitting on Boots, Bottle, and a Null Talisman here in the mid. So gonna be very hard for S4 to make a living here in the mid lane, I guess you could say. And Fly even hanging around here now with an Invis rune. So S4, well, the backup is there from EGM.
Yeah, and they shouldn't know this. They don't have wards down there at the bottom rune, so this could set up another potential kill on S4. The question is there enough damage coming out from Fly and Hani? I'm not quite sure that's going to be the case with Ake in the back wings as well. Should be pretty difficult. Ice Path is going to hit Illusory Orb. Here he comes in, but here comes Ake. Oh, nice face shift, dodging the stun, but S4 is going to get out, and Puck actually goes down, so Ake, very nice support.
Yeah, very well predicted here from by Ake. He had a feeling that something was going to happen since the heroes were missing from everywhere else on the map. Or sorry, the Jakiro was missing. Now, meanwhile, up top, Trixie as well as No-Tail putting a lot of pressure on Loda. Luna's actually joined the fight up here, and they might be able to bring him down. Yes, they will. No-Tail getting that kill with a
level 1 Maledict.
This
level 1 Maledict, man.
Level 4 Luna ganking. I think we've seen it all already, and we're 3 minutes in.
Yeah, that's true. And that's funny coming from Era, because he usually just sits and farms the whole game. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but in like a mode like this, it's just less predictable overall. So it's good to see some high-level action coming out from these teams. And I have this weird thing where my mouse will go out of my screen, so my camera work might not be as great as it usually is. Ake, in the meantime, securing this double damage room for S4. Look at this cuddly courier made by Airborne Studios. The fact that I know who made all these items is going to be pretty annoying to people, but just like giving shoutouts, you know.
But why are they not using our courier?
I know. How dare they?
I know, right? That's the cuddliest of them all.
Oh, we should mention, this is a 20,000 base prize pool, and you guys have already put in over $8,000, which is amazing. This, considering this is the first game of the tournament, and the round robin stage, which is what we're in right now, will last 6 weeks, or 5 weeks actually, I should say, is amazing. $8,000, pretty crazy.
And there were some people who were skeptical and like, how seriously are the teams going to take this tournament because it's not in the regular captain's mode, but the prize pool, that's right, that's a new word. The prize pool is certainly making it worth it for the teams right now, and I would say so far in this game, both teams have been really serious on the aggression at least. Definitely look like they're doing whatever they can to get a good foothold in this game. And well, who's getting the better one at the moment? What do you think?
Well, Fnatic's going to be pushing this tier 1, so if they can get that, perhaps they're going to be the ones with the advantage. I think it's even overall. First blood obviously going to Fnatic. They were very aggressive to start the game. Admiral Bulldog is now at top lane, so I feel like every hero has been in every single lane just about, aside from maybe mid. But I guess that's what Captain's Draft brings to the table, perhaps. And you're talking about how people are viewing teams taking it seriously. For this much money, they're going to take it seriously, I promise you. The question is, how balanced is this game mode? I think that's the biggest debate overall. And I think it's obviously not, this game was not made to be balanced based on this mode. But despite that, I think the drafting is what it really comes down to, is from the actual drafters in these teams, how experienced they are, how many strategies they have to work with. So I think overall, people are just overthinking the entire imbalance.
I agree with that one.
And I think I might have said captain's mode instead of captain's draft like a million times. It's just, that just shows how often the captain's draft is played, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so having a little bit of a look at the XP and gold, it's been going well in Fnatic's favor for the last little while. They've actually been getting themselves an experience advantage of about 2,000 and 1,500 on the gold, but it's starting to go up a little bit again now as Loda is starting to get some safe farm down here in the bottom lane. With Fnatic's rotation, that's opened up the bottom lane for him. He's going to play one-on-one now against Doom, so basically both teams have just swapped around their lanes. And one thing I want to put a bit of emphasis on here is Alliance, their support levels are really, they're level 3 and 3 on the supports, whereas Fnatic are level 4.5 and 4.5 on theirs. And EGM has skilled Burrow Strike level 1 and Sandstorm level 2, so either this was a misclick or he's planning to jungle up some experience right here. He's trying to make a triple stack, does not succeed on that one, and it is indeed the jungling, so realizes he needs to get these levels. This is some next level stuff right here that we don't get to see that often.
Yeah, and Trixie's going to run right into it.
Oh, meanwhile, we actually miss a kill there.
Damn it, syndereN! I blame it on you, god dang it! Anyway, Dream Coil's already up. Okay, there comes the Eclipse. Lots of damage coming out from Admiral Bulldog. He looks like he's going to go down. But here comes S4 dealing as much damage as possible. Right now it's a 2-for-1 actually in favor of Alliance. And Era looks like he's going to go down, but not before he gets S4. In the meantime, Ake will run away with his amazing set. The Arcana Lina set. And that is the first kill I've missed. And 100% blame goes to syndereN.
Yeah, that was definitely my fault somehow.
You're just making me look at freaking Sand King's skill, which is really weird. Now 2 and 2, so it's all good.
And I think
top lane.
Trixie,
no, he's gonna get out.
A little bit of a poke from Loda, but does not commit on that. And,
I think it's only a level 1. Oh, he went level 2 Maledict with level 1 Cask. What do you think about this?
And 1 in the heal. He has a lineup that's really good at using the Maledict, because of course the way it works, it's about dealing as much damage as possible early in the Maledict so that it stacks up heavily, and they have some good single target damage with the Lucent Beam. They have the burst damage from Puck as well, of course, so a high level Maledict is going to be really useful. But we don't really often see Witch Doctors at all, but when we see them, they generally favor the Paralyzing Cask simply because when fights break out, if you get one of those good casks and it bounces between two heroes for like 3 or 4 seconds, it makes a huge difference. But here we go, top again. Bulldog's gonna jump in.
Burrow Strike on Fly, no tail in the meantime, getting stunned. Oh my god, Laguna Blade is already up for Ake. Are you freaking kidding me? 2 dead for Fnatic, just like that. But here comes Trixie, here comes Era. Era does not have Eclipse. Nice cogs, zoning everybody out, and Alliance definitely gets the better of that exchange. I mean, good lord. How does he have... Oh, mid lane in the meantime. Hani taking a lot of damage from S4. S4 has so much mana. He can continue to go. But losing Orb and Wayne Rift and Dream Coil's up. How is that up again? He's going to go right through it. What? What the hell just happened? Where did he die?
He used his illusory orb and Sand King came all the way from above. What a special play there. And yeah, Hani misjudging his damage a little bit. He thought he could take the fight to S4, but S4 knew his limits there. And you're absolutely right. That Lina level 6 must have taken Fnatic by surprise as well, because Ake was level 3 a moment ago, but the exchange up in the top lane where we got a lot of kills for both sides, Ake stayed alive through all of that. And he's now 5-0 on his Lina. Arcane Boots, Magic Stick, wards, and gold for a TP. It's everything a support wants at this 9-minute mark. So Alliance, really,
that's insane.
Their movement there just made a really big difference. And even though EGM is only level 5 at 10 minutes, I still feel like they've put themselves in the position they need to be in the game in order for Sand King to take a bit of time to farm, because he doesn't have to be active right now.
Indeed.
He will be, though.
And S4 looks like he's going to be getting this, trying to get this top rune. I was going to mention that Waning Rift should probably be maxed out over Illusory Orb against the Storm Sphere, and he did just that. And I'm surprised that Silent, it felt like it didn't last very long. But apparently S4 just too good. Ake in the meantime, smoked up. Era seems to know what's going on though, playing very passively in this top lane. Doom in the meantime, level 8 at bottom lane. I mean, I'm just more interested with the leveling this game. Like you were talking about, the Lina pretty much over leveled at this point for what you normally see.
And if you will look at the levels, 5 heroes on the map level 8 right now, 3 of them on Fnatic's side, but the support's still in it. Oh, here we go in mid. Hani's gonna get jumped. Smoke screen, wow. Smoke screen as well as Storm jumping in over the top. Instant kill here for Alliance, and very nice movement here from Loda. This is one of Ricky's strengths as a carry, and we don't get to see this hero too often. Again,
top lane again. Laguna Blade is so disgusting when it's early game against supports like No-Tail. What is No-Tail gonna do? Level 5, not much HP to speak of. Just basically one-shots him. Not much you can do about that. What they really need is Trixie to take off, because the Doom ability is the one reason, or the one ability that can just shut down a bunch of these heroes. But then again, you have so many heroes that are leveled for Alliance that you can't Doom everybody. Get a refresher.
Get a refresher with your 390 mana pool, so you can use your refresher orb and get a single skill with it. There we go, S4 in mid. He might regret this.
Oh yeah, he's completely out of mana. He's gonna take the Doom to the face, but there comes the Burrow Strike. Don't think it's gonna be enough to kill S4, but in the meantime, they're gonna take the Constellation kill on the Sand King. Oh, level death. Surprised that Trixie actually caught up with him. I guess that's what happens when Storm Sphere gets nerfed in the movement speed department and is doomed. So 2 kills for Fnatic.
At the same time, Trixie, with the Scorched Earth as well as Phase Boots, he's really fast on that Doom, so could easily keep up with him. And 2 big kills here for Fnatic, as well as a tier 1 tower. And this is really, if you look at the graph here, I don't know how to describe this. While Ake, oh, this is a big kill, and they're gonna get it.
And the Burrow Strike's gonna follow. Two hit with that Burrow Strike, and Loda's gonna take the last hit as tower goes down in Fnatic's favor. So if Hani can get out, this is gonna be a favorable exchange for them, and it looks like he's gonna do just that.
Yep, Loda doesn't have the mana for Blink Strike.
Oh, Eclipse! Beautiful use of Fog of War from Era. They only get 1 kill, but still very worth it. I mean, the level 1 ult from Luna, not exactly something to be feared unless you're alone like that. So very nicely done.
Yeah, and importantly about this, Hani got the kill on Ake, who had a 6 kill streak. So I'm not sure about 772 gold going the way of Hani. So he's closing in on his Blink Dagger with treads up as well. So even though this is not an exceptionally early Blink Dagger for Puck, but considering the way the game has gone and that he has 3 deaths, I feel like he's doing pretty well now after getting that kill, getting close to the Blink. Alliance, however, will get a trade on the tier 1 tower mid, so 1-for-1 tower exchange so far in the game, and just a really even game for now. And we're approaching a very exciting mid game in this one, I think.
Indeed. I'm looking forward to Puck picking up his Blink Dagger. I think that's going to start even more aggression for Fnatic, because they have great initiation with that Blink Dagger into S4, who, like we were talking about, he can't do anything against Waning Rift if you're able to get that initiation off from Puck. So I think that's something to look forward to. S4 in the meantime doesn't really have any... I guess he's going for an Orchid. I think that's the right choice, as Fnatic is going to be smoked here.
Something's going to happen now. Or is it?
Or is it? Well, they don't have the Blink Dagger on Hani, so they can't really catch anybody out by surprise. EGM gonna Burrow Strike through the neutrals, but what was that? Was that a Force Staff on Trixie? He's gonna Doom EGM. Looks like that's gonna be an easy kill, as S4 is gonna try to slow him down as much as possible. Trixie should be able to do enough damage. He has a level death available if he wants to use it, but not gonna do so. Lucent Beam, actually, Fnatic Era taking the kill easily for himself. S4 will get out just in time. Force Staff on Trixie. Awesome.
I was not expecting this item to come up on Doom, but it's one of those items that you are tempted to get on heroes that don't necessarily usually get it that often when you're against a Clockwork. I feel like it's directly built to counter the cogs, and then of course it came really much in handy there, so can't really question that choice. We often see Doombringers go for something like Shadow Blade so that they can come out of nowhere and initiate, but if you come from the fog, the Force Staff kind of serves the same purpose.
You know, his name's Doom now. Just
I know
saying.
it's a Doombringer. Happens once in a while. Old hero names sometimes stick.
Name another hero. That, as we're gonna have perhaps initiation from S4. Nope. Just gonna. Oh, here comes the hook shot from Bulldog. Fly is gonna get zoned out by these cogs that are eventually gonna come. Ice Path's gonna block off everybody. No Tail getting destroyed again, being focused by Ake's Laguna Blade over and over again. As Fly is gonna take a lot of damage from this battery assault. Will go down, and we have a chase in the river. Hani is gonna be able to get out. Nice stun from Ake. That is way too much damage to deal. 3-for-1 exchange in favor of Alliance. And I was going to give you some trivia, syndereN, as we're just going to mellow things down a bit as Trixie is going to push this tower all by himself at bottom lane. Name another hero that has an ability named after themselves. Like 100%, like not partially, 100%. Can you think of any? Think of it. And he's probably a tier 2 pick, I guess.
I was tempted to say Windrunner, but that's not exactly what it's called, and it's not called Windrunner anymore.
Correct. He's a beast.
I don't know, man.
He's a beast of burden. Bristleback.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
My trivia is too good, man. Nobody can get that stuff right. As Trixie will.
Now you're just showing off.
I know. I'm awesome. He does not get the tier 1 bot. But this is a really freaking exciting game, not going to lie. I think it could have gone either way with Captain's Draft mode. It could be horribly stale. Oh, as Trixie trying to get the last hit, not able to do so. S4 denies it. Does not have Doom though, so not able to get a kill.
He defending bottom. TP's coming in here from Era. Might see an ulti. Oh, Puck doesn't have the ult ready. The Dream Coil 5 seconds off cooldown, and
I thought he was popping Eclipse. I thought for a second. Good choice.
But at least they're going to secure themselves the deny here, so Honey's going to get that. And I feel like everything for Fnatic right now, they just need these 400 gold on Hani. It's really going to help so much for him to get that Blink Dagger. He's 400 gold off it. It's going to give them the initiation power they need to set up these fights. And on the other side, Alliance, Storm Spirit is really not having the greatest game here. This is the time when we often see a Storm Spirit with a good game has an Orchid by now. He has 1 Oblivion staff, so he's really far off anything useful right now on the Storm. And Ricky only has a Yasha, so the farm values in Alliance actually, or actually on everyone in this game, are very low compared to what we usually see. And I guess it's what they get forced into by playing such a high-action game and such unusual supports as these are. Let's put it that way. It's not that these heroes aren't good or never get picked, but we have this kind of support duos we don't really see that often, and they encourage a different style of play, I guess we could say, and it's sacrificing farm.
Yep. I mean, a lot of these here, like even Era, you would expect him to have his first major item by this point. I mean, right now, Puck picking up a Blink Dagger at 17 minutes and 30 seconds isn't, I mean, it's not horrendous, but it's definitely later than you usually see. And I think you're exactly right. You don't have heroes perhaps sitting in their lane, farming away to their heart's content. Instead, just lots of ganking, and this is the byproduct of that. Top lane in the meantime.
Yep.
S4 not going to be able to get the last hit. It's going to zip away. And is this deniable? Yes, indeed it is.
Curious to see what Trixie goes from here. He does have the gold for a blink if he wants to go all in mobility, but I think we're going to see something aura-based from him. Fnatic are setting up for a mid-late game where they're going to be... Oh, wait a sec. Oh, S4, he's being really sneaky right now. Loda is coming in from the side. I think they're going to try for this. But they're hesitating a little bit on Loda. He's checking for sentries. There's no sentry ward. And S4 still hasn't showed. This is a beautiful play from Alliance.
And of course, Ricky's invisible, and they don't have a sentry. This is an observer ward. S4. Oh, the dust comes out. Doom immediately on Ricky as Clockwork dies in a different lane. Loda's going to take a ton of damage. It looks like he will fall. No Tail getting off his beautiful death ward, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange at this point as Trixie attempts to run away. But here comes the zip. Is there going to be enough mana? Burrow Strike up in 5. Missed stun from Ake. And the Force Staff will save Trixie yet again.
Yeah, that was so well played from both teams, to be honest. Alliance were really trying to set up a sneaky trap, and just as well played by Fnatic. They let Alliance think that they could get in there, but the sentry ward in the lane, Loda walked into range of it, Fnatic knew what was going on, and they let Loda try. Immediately when he comes in range, there comes the Doom. They get 2 kills. They get the kill on the bottom lane by Puck as well, and a tier 1 tower there, and a tier 1 tower at top. Fnatic just got a lot out of this.
Really fast reactions coming out from Trixie. But you see Trixie picking up a Vanguard, and on the other side of the coin, Admiral Bulldog gets his Aghanim. Okay, we're talking about people not getting very much farm. This is a really early Aghanim Scepter on Bulldog, and I think this is probably top 10 in my list of Aghanim Scepter, like how well the hero uses it, I guess you could say. As BKB is on Luna now as well. Would you
Yeah,
agree with
that's a
that?
big idea.
The Aghanim Scepter and Clockwork's top 10 Aghanim Scepter purchases?
Probably, because I don't know
It's
how
really
many
good.
of them are actually really that good, but I would definitely say Clockwork is up there. And it's also one of the heroes that gets purchased on the most, but I'm not sure exactly how early this is. We are 20 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. S4 is going to get jumped with the jaunt. There's another stun coming out of Trixie, and beautiful execution again from Fnatic. They're just really... They're finding the pickoffs right now and getting the job done. They might turn this into a Roshan as well, but where I was getting... what I was going at was that the Clockwork has brown boots. He has boots and axe and a bottle. That's pretty much it. So when you feel like it's early, you need to remember that the 1,000 gold that usually go into treads or face boots have not been spent by Bulldog, so it's not that early, but it's certainly hitting at the right time. When you get Axe and you're level 11, that's one of the most perfect timings you can get it in the game, and he hit it at right on.
Well, looking at the gold per minute, Trixie and Era are the two top of the board right now. I guess the more relevant stat is probably net worth. I used to love gold per minute, but it's not always a telling tale. And right now, top 3 for Fnatic, so they're definitely on top here. I mean, looking at the gold graph, they're up by about 3k. And the experience, actually pretty much even. So
yeah, and it's a really weird net worth graph if you look at it. They have the top 3, but also the bottom 2. This is something we pretty rarely see, actually. And even though the carries are doing great, or the cores, we should say, Alliance's supports are doing better. They have a Blink Dagger on Sand King, and I would say this 2,000 gold on Sand King is worth more than 2,000 gold on any carry in the game right now. So even though they're behind on net worth, I still think their team fighting potential, if they don't get locked out by this puck, I would give the edge to Alliance if they get a good opening, because they have 2 initiators with Clockwork and Storm Spirit, and if they manage to set the fight so that it begins the way they want, they get a full epicenter coming in from EGM. So this is definitely something to look out for right now. And Fnatic does not know that EGM has a blink, I think. I don't think he's shown it just yet. So those kind of plays can determine an entire game if that comes out of nowhere. You're gonna have to see. 2
Oblivion staffs on S4, so getting close to that Orchid. I would expect a smoke here so they don't see the Blink Dagger purchase on EGM, and there we go. 4-man smoke for Alliance, and you're right. I think the Blink Dagger is a huge pickup. I mean, overall, the team fight potential from both teams is relatively even, but if you have more farm on your supports, it's going to go way better for you overall. Meantime, they see Era farming. Are they going to jump him? Here we go. Burrow strike into the Ake stun, but here's the Ice Path from Fnatic. No tail. Beautiful death ward. That's going to be 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead for Alliance. What happened? Good lord, woman.
Fantastic bait from Fnatic right here. That was so beautiful. They sent Era a little bit out in the front and tried to bait Alliance to go for it, and Ricky and Sand King jumped in together, and they actually got a good initiation. I think Lina even got a 2-man stun that hit Hani. But the Ice Path from Fly, buying that time, getting the BKB off on the Luna and just turning it around with a hammer of an Eclipse there. I think all the... Yeah, how many beams is that? I think he hit 6 out of 7 beams or something there on the right hero, so they get the kill, and now S4 is going for the snipe. Let's see if he can do it.
And we'll see. He's perched up top with his static remnant, able to see everything. They have to know this is here. They have to. I mean, Hani has the ability to scout this out.
Oh,
EGM's coming in with the epicenter. Here we go. He's gonna get it. He doesn't get his Burrow strike off. They're gonna be focused completely on Roshan. Sand King dead immediately, and Hani initiates onto S4. You better be careful. He's gonna force staff away from Doom. S4 in the meantime trying to get up. Looks like Era's gonna get the Aegis as well as the. Oh, it looks like we're gonna use the Aegis immediately. There's the Laguna Blade. So 3 dead for Fnatic. The Aegis is used, and okay, Eclipse is down. I thought he had just cast it.
Ward only for that.
Yeah, S4, but he has enough mana to zip away. And he's going to try to TP Lucent Beam up in 1 second. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, and here comes the Clockwork Initiation from Admiral Bulldog. Trixie is a dead Doom. If I've ever seen one, he's going to do as much damage as possible as Era and No Tail resign to attack from above the cliff.
I really think that was going to go worse for Alliance.
Yeah.
It looked like the Ice Path from Fly there was just perfect. It hit Storm Spirit up on the high ground, and it hit the Sand King inside the pit, but they managed to buy enough time, and I have to say, really nice positional play here from S4, the way he jumped around and even survived that fight. Bought so much time so that Loda and Ake could come in and clean up there. And so far for me in this game, Ake's Lina has been absolutely incredible. I think he hit a 3-man stun and Slave right there, and got the Laguna Blade off, so they got the Aegis too. And Alliance, even though they lose the Roshan, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this game is being not won, but Alliance is staying in the game because of the supports right now. And Fnatic, in the meantime, you've seen some great ice paths from Fly, but overall, just not having any farm on Fly or No Tail kind of is hurting them quite a bit as opposed to the other side of the coin, which is definitely not the case, as this top lane is going to be pushed out by Fnatic, and doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of engagement here. Looking at the net worth, which I already had it on. I don't know why the heck I changed that again. I need to learn these binds so badly. Jesus, this is terrible. All right, top 3 still for Fnatic, so they're still in the lead as far as their cores are concerned. But like you said, still bottom 2, so nothing has changed in that regard. That Aegis Roshan kill hasn't changed a whole lot yet.
But let's try to imagine when this game goes a little bit further, because I think the way it looks right now, this game is not going to be over within the next 10 minutes. So
right.
Fnatic going into a mid-late game position, they have Luna, which is arguably one of the best late game carries against Riki, who is good with farm, but Loda has not been accomplishing too much in the game so far. He's been part of 3 out of 18 kills, has 4 deaths, and only 116 CS at 25 minutes. So I feel like Fnatic... Oh, here we go. EGM's going to get spotted out here. Beautiful play. Oh, the Ice Path is going to be off the mark, though, and he's going to Sandstorm here.
Oh, he's trying to get away, but the right click's way
That
too
was
much
close.
damage. S4 should be okay, as bottom lane's going to be... Was being pushed. Admiral Bulldog's going to try to pick off somebody. Does he see the Doom? Don't think so. He's going to see the Scorched Earth very soon, as there's the 4-step Doom on Ake. Hook shot to... And Cogs. Very nice zoning from Admiral Bulldog yet again. But there comes...
Oh,
the
he used
cask.
his Illu rune with the
Is it
Kosk on
gonna be
top.
enough? Oh, top. Oh, Admiral Bulldog's dead. Completely dead. Sorry, what?
Oh dear. He popped his illusion rune while the cask was mid-air. So he basically made the cask bounce to his illusions and back to himself. Either it auto-used it, or that was just a really unfortunate misplay. I think it auto-used it because the next rune has spawned at bottom, so it's probably 2 minutes ago he picked it up. That's
Well,
just
even if he
really
didn't, if it was a mistake, you can't blame him too much because you don't really play against Witch Doctor too often. You know, it's not something that goes through your head immediately.
That was just a really funny play, actually, that happened. Loda, looking for Era here. There's no way he can solo this. And we're getting to a stage in the game where these BKBs are going to mean a lot. And Era has his, Loda does not have his just yet. He's getting pretty close to it. Loda is giving some sort of vision here. EGM might try for this with a level 2 Epi, and that would be a huge
Top lane though, S4 is dead. That's all I had to say.
Yep,
Meanwhile, Era is farming the Ancients.
And he got away with it. They let him get it. Sand King is coming up with a haste now, but it's too late. The camp is farmed. And Era's even going to spot him with a ward. So they know Sand King is here, and not going to do anything about that. So Fnatic, in a mid-late game scenario, they have the good initiation out of the Puck, which is a great teamfight initiator, and he's getting a BKB as well. Really intelligent pickup from Hani here. He's playing against an Orchid Storm. He's playing against 2 bazillion stuns and silences, so definitely a good item of choice. We have the Shiva's Guard up on Trixie now, even more teamfight potential for them.
Oh, wow.
And Luna will be getting a Manta, so I'm favoring Fnatic in the current game position right now, and the graphs are as well. But it's not only the graphs, just the composition of their lineup. With the farm that Alliance have, or rather don't have, on Storm and Riki, it's going to be really tough for them to take Fnatic in about 5 or 10 minutes in a team fight, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like we've been pointing at all game, the farm is more evenly spread among Alliance, which can be good, it can be bad, but the problem is when your supports in Ake and the Sand King EGM, they all rely on complete magic damage, and when Fnatic has a bunch of BKBs, which as you said, Puck is picking up very shortly, Luna already has, and I'm not sure if Doom's even going to get one, considering he's just so freaking tanky, but regardless of being tanky, yeah, so a lot of damage mitigation coming out from Fnatic in terms of teamfight potentials. Roshan's up in about 5 minutes, and who picked up, I saw something picked up. Somebody picked up something, I'll tell you what. Okay, Hani did
Loda got a DD,
the BKB.
And both Loda and Puck got the BKBs, so a lot of pickups here. And Loda with this double damage rune, he really wants to find something, but Fnatic, I feel like they've just figured out Alliance so far in this game. The early game was really going back and forth, but Fnatic has kind of been getting the better trade for the last 5 to 10 minutes. They're just predicting Alliance's movement, and they might be doing it again now, or maybe they aren't. Hani has a gem. Never mind. He's gonna see Loda. He's gonna see the ward. Oh, what a fight! Hani gets the ward.
What a fight! That ward put up absolutely no damage. Unbelievable. Loda in the meantime, better be careful. Of course, Doom does not have the gem, so will not be seeing anything. And he might be walking into a bunch of Alliance heroes. Does he care, though? He's really tanky. Here comes the initiation. Orchid on Trixie. He gets the Shivas off. Here comes the Ice Path. Nope. Laguna Blaze is going to finish off Doom in no time. Hunt in the meantime pops his BKB. And looks like he actually just gets out of the fight completely. His BKB is almost wasted for the most part. Era saves his Eclipse. Probably a right move. As this team fight is just split in 2. S4 taking a lot of damage from the Lucent Beam, but not able to do anything. EGM still has Epicenter. Here we go. EGM, Epicenter! Gets 2, Fly is dead, no tail. Okay, he's not dead yet. Fly will probably fall at some point. Oh my god, the burst damage is insane. Good lord, 3 for 2 exchange in the favor of Fnatic, which I didn't think had a chance in that fight, considering their positioning was god-awful for at least a certain portion of that fight.
And that was a nice epicenter, I think. He did all
Yep.
the damage he could, but the follow-up from S4 just wasn't there. And that's the problem with Storm Spirit when you reach the stage of the game with this amount of farm. He kind of has one jump. With Storm Spirit at this point, you wanna have some sort of item that allows you to reinitiate, either by having a BKB on your first jump, or by having more mana regen and more utility, but he only has the Orchid, so in the initiation that they got off in the beginning, he used his entire tank. And that meant that that epicenter came in pretty much alone. If there was any sort of better follow-up on that, I think that could have gone very well for Alliance. But overall, I have to just...
Well, what do you think S4 should be getting? Sheepstick? Because I think if you do you agree with my if you get a BKB, don't you have to get a Linken's too to prevent Doom from initiating
because
upon
of the item build, Trixie's going for, what they could do is get a BKB on Storm, jump in, Orchid the Doom, and just completely blow him up. But it does look like S4 is going for an Orchid. Sorry, what's it called? Scythe of Ice. There we go. As his item of choice. So he has the choice of playing a little bit more defensively with a BKB, or playing very aggressively and just hoping that his position and movement will allow him to use the Orchid and Hex correctly. But there are a lot of death traps for him right now, so he needs to be careful with his positioning in these fights. But still, I can't disagree with this choice. Perhaps it's Alliance's way to come back into this, because they must feel like they're under pressure, and maybe defensive items right now are not going to cut it.
Indeed. And again, referring to the net worth chart, Era is by far and away the #1 farmer in this game. Has a Helm of Dominator, 1600 gold to boot. Question, what is he going to go for next? Does he go for a little bit of tankiness with the Satanic? Go for a little bit of attack speed? I mean, he has the Manta, but do you go Butterfly in this instance? Meantime, S4 is going to get caught out. Oh, he Orchids Hani, but he BKBs immediately. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to catch him. So nicely played by S4, wasting the BKB charge of Hani, who's been using this somewhat liberally. What is this? This is that was a 9-second charge. And that's something that you have to keep in mind. When you pick up a really early BKB, which Fnatic has been doing, the later the game goes, the worse it gets, obviously. But I think people underestimate this fact, as you have heroes that do so much magic damage on Alliance. We're going to have a hook shot that I hear it! Trixie's dead. Oh, he gets cogged out, but he still dies nonetheless. Nice Dream Coil. Here comes the Burrow Strike. Eclipse to follow. S4 taking the Maledict to the face. Look at that cast. Triple kill for Era. BKB still activated. He's going to continue to chase. Loda right now is doing no damage. He's using his Smoke Cloud as a defensive mechanism. Admiral Badonian is cock-blocked by his own cogs. Will attempt to run away. Don't laugh at my jokes.
See that? He destroyed 2 of his cogs. He destroyed the first one, was like, nope, I want the other one.
Indeed.
And he's reinitiating on Fly. Wow, this is cheeky from Alliance.
Yeah, they're gonna, I mean, well, he has zoning cogs again. But look at what they had to use to kill Jakiro. BKB charge on Loda, Clockwork Hook shot, which I guess isn't a big deal considering he has Aghanim Scepter. But still. Okay, still.
Yeah, I don't know how well that, I'm not sure how much that was worth it for Loda there, but at the same time, you've just got to say Alliance are in a position where they have to get whatever they can at this point.
That's true.
So maybe a BKB charge for this kill is worth it, because Loda needs this gold right now. He's 7,000 gold behind a Luna, who is arguably just a stronger late game carry than Riki is because of her spread damage potential, whereas Riki has to single out a target. And we haven't talked about this just yet, but if we get into a late game scenario, what if Doom just dooms
bottom
the
lane? EGM initiation with Ani is done for. Very nicely done. Is this going to cost them their lives? Here you see the cast going at it again. I think the Maledict completely missed. Ake will die for this. It's a 1-for-1 trade. EGM uses Sandstorm to try to get away. Lucent Beam's going to keep him there in place, but he will Burrow Strike through the terrain. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying, if we get later into this game and Storm doesn't pick up much more on the farm, perhaps Doom can afford to Doom the Riki instead. So if Loda gets strong, this hero is really dependent on the Blink Strike to reposition himself in the fights. And if he's doomed out, he can't go invisible with permanent invisibility, and he can't reposition himself. So
that's a good point.
Even if Loda gets farmed, he's still going to get doomed in the late game, and then Era's just going to outcarry him in the fight. Storm cannot defeat this Fnatic lineup alone. And even though the supports are getting strong, we're seeing more and more BKBs come off. And Fnatic are just overall getting more and more tanky. The Doom now aiming towards his BKB after having a Shiva's Guard, unless that's a Heaven's Halberd, but I doubt it. And you just saw how much effort they had to put into killing Trixie. They were 3-man using absolutely everything, and they almost didn't get him there in the river. So kind of an ill omen for Alliance's position in this game right now.
And once this Doom picks up the BKB, is he picking it up now? No, just the Ogre Clip for now. They do smoke. So I like the fact that Fnatic is well ahead right now, but they're still being aggressive with these smoke ganks. I mean, Era is just not sitting back and farming, and I think this is the right move. You just continue the pressure. I mean, look at EGM. We're talking about how early he got his Blink Dagger for a hero that wasn't getting much, shouldn't be getting much farm, but he has nothing else. So he's essentially a Blink Epicenter, and he's done. Burrow Strike obviously to follow, but after that he's just completely useless.
Oh, Loda's in trouble.
Waning Rift. Loda's gonna have to pop his BKB. The Dream Coil's not gonna do absolutely anything. Blink Strike onto his teammate. Uses Smoke Cloud. Only a one-man Burrow Strike from EGM. They're playing so defensive, which they kind of have to in this scenario since they're getting destroyed in this fight. SandKing the only casualty in this engagement. And they're probably gonna go either for Roche or at least apply some pressure to this tier 2.
SandKing and a BKB charge, actually, as the casualty there. I guess we should say that because Loda, on Ricky, you're just so fragile in these fights when you're not in the Mad community. He can't even fight when he's not in BKB, so these charges being used are really important. And what do you think about this? I thought Loda was going to finish his Manta with the Yasha, but he's working probably towards an MKB here.
Oh, nice deny from S4.
Nice deny, yeah.
It's the little victories. You know, it's the little victories. You're talking about, is this an MKB?
It has to be, right? He's preparing for the Butterfly of Luna to come off, which it will soon. Era is actually 300 gold off it right now. He's getting a Scotty though. Joke's on you, Loda.
Scotty on Era?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Two ultimate orbs are flying out. He's going to complete it right now in the secret shop, actually.
Oh, I love it. That's my favorite item of all time.
Getting into
S4. Yep, static Remnant.
Get scouted.
He does get scouted. He's going to get stunned. Are they going to be able to get Doom off? They do. There comes the Ice Path. S4 is a dead little monkey if I've ever seen one. And that should be a free Roshan. Oh, he buys back. And that's going to be expensive. If they're not able to capitalize off this, it might be a GG. If they completely lose this fight after Storm, who's arguably your most important hero, buying back and then perhaps dying again. But Fnatic's going to take it a little passive.
Yeah, they have Doom on cooldown and they forced the buyback. They got what they came for. And this buyback from Alliance, it's kind of a weird play because he has to buy back so they don't get Roche, but then when they don't get Roche, they just wait. Alliance's potential at taking Roshan here against Fnatic is almost... They don't have a chance at doing it. Fnatic are hanging around. They're so tanky on their heroes with this Skadi on Era as well. I think this is the biggest Skadi lover team of all time. I think Hani might have had an influence on Era there, because Hani likes to get Skadi in absolutely everything. But I just don't see Alliance getting into this fight without the perfect 3 or 4 man Burrow Strike Epicenter from SandKing. I just don't know if they can do it. There's many BKBs, there's much tankability.
Did you mention No-Tail had a BKB?
Oh,
no, hook actually, shot on Trixie, double
nice.
cogs. There comes the BKB though, Ice Path to follow. Trixie somehow gets out of the cog. I guess it's because of his 4-7. No-Tail's going to get a solo kill on the Clockwork. That is not good news for Alliance, as S4 might go down yet again. Has no mana to speak. Lucent Beam's going to finish him off. Free Roshan. And like we were talking about, if your Clockwork gets solo killed to the support who has probably the least amount, I guess Jakiro has less farm, but second least amount of farm, does that even make any sense? Either way, No-Tail solo them is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Pretty dirty.
Yeah, and it's the BKBs right there. Yep. And Alliance, they also didn't get into that like they want. Okay, actually EGM's going to try here and Trixie together with Aki. They're blowing everything.
Everything.
Will get the kill. But the Aegis is still going to go to Fnatic, and Luna will pick that up. But I think in that fight, the hook initiation from Bulldog might have been good, might have been bad. He got a good initiation off, and the follow-up from Storm was there. But I think something disabled SandKing in the back of the fight, and I didn't get to see exactly what it was. But he was kept away by something. It might have been the Scorched Earth from Doom or something like. No, he was in the cogs. But something disallowed Alliance from taking that team fight like they wanted.
Maybe it was fear.
The initiation backfired because they couldn't follow through.
Oh, we didn't really talk specifically. What do you actually think about the Skadi pickup on Era? Personally, I think the lower your BKB gets, the tankier you want to get. And Satanic kind of does that for you, but if you're going to get disabled because of your BKB having such low charges, the Skadi is a great choice for a Luna. Obviously, it doesn't work with your bounces on the Glaze, but I mean, I'm kind of biased because I personally love Skadi. I think it's a very underrated item.
I think a lot of people love it just because they don't see it so much, so you always love it when you finally do see it. But I think if you do the math, Skadi makes you more tanky than Satanic does, unless if you get the Satanic off, of course. And Era might be concerned that he gets jumped on and gets completely locked down, and then the effective health from Skadi against the physical damage from some of these Alliance heroes is going to be worth more than the bit of strength he's not getting from the Satanic. So in that regard, it's good. It gives more damage as well, of course, with the 25 agility. The mana and health the mana is irrelevant completely, so that's kind of a wasted stat. The intelligence as well, but still the strength and agility and the slow kind of makes up for the fact that he can't use the other stats so well. So I like the choice, but I'm still not fully convinced, at least in this game, that it was a better choice than Butterfly, because I still think he was tanky enough. Now he even has an Aegis, so his team could probably get the job done and he can just auto-attack and do 1,000,000 damage. But
that's true. His yeah, that's true.
At least it goes well with the Manta, because Manta style illusions are based off your stats, and since Skadi gives agility instead of damage, in that regard it's good, but then again Butterfly gives more agility than Skadi does, so it's a little bit of an all-round item. You can't really say it's terrible, you can't really say it's amazing, that's how I feel.
S4 has the ultimate orb, probably going for a sheep stick, and this tier 2 doesn't look like it's going to be defended by Fnatic, but in the meantime they trade a bottom one, so they're happy with that, I suppose. As I guess Alliance, are they going to actually try to base push this?
Alliance has to get back. There's no way they're half as fast as this Luna and Doom. The moment this tower falls, the glaives from the Manta Illusions and Arrow will just chop this down, but Alliance are actually trying. They're doing pretty good damage, surprisingly. And they have the glyph advantage. Never mind that. Alliance had the glyph, Fnatic did not. Fnatic are forced back. Are they going to get racks here? Are you kidding me?
Oh my god. Initiation from Bulldog. BKB though on No Tail. He's going to pop his Death Ward, doing a decent amount of damage.
Oh, that cask!
Oh my god, the cask is so freaking amazing. BKB's all across the board. Loda in the meantime trying to run away. Did they get a Rax? They did not get the Rax. And I believe Era is... Okay, no, he did TP in. He has boots of travel. I thought he was still going to take this Rax out, but I guess they felt the need to defend, which is probably the right choice. You don't want to trade Rax at this point when you're so far ahead. There's no need for that. I mean,
I'm going to coin a new term in this game. It's going to be called MBA, and that's most valuable ability, and that's cask in this game so far. Seriously.
Wait, did you say MBA and then say most
MBA.
valuable? MVA, okay.
Or right. MBA, most baller ability, if you will.
Balls deep ability. Yeah.
Balls deep ability. That was...
Is that cask?
These casks have just set up so much for Fnatic. If you think about it, how many times in a row have they got these casks bouncing on multiple heroes for a long time in these fights, and it's just allowed them to follow up nicely with their teamfight abilities from both Luna and Puck. Just beautiful play out of No Tail in this game, and they're gonna get double racks now. This is looking hard. It's GG.
GG's come out.
Alliance call it.
I'm calling it. This game will bring Witch Doctor back into the fold. Awesome hero. Would love to see him in the Captain's Mode games as well. Anyway, this was SUNSfan and syndereN casting Game 1 for the XMG Captain's Draft Invitational.